I'm here with Dhruv Chandra, a collector of Indian modern art at India Art Fair. So tell me, when I was telling you about where we should do our shoot, you chose this artwork. Why is that?
Hi Azan, thank you for having me. Basically, I have been collecting more of ancient art and modern art through the many years of my collection, and I'm beginning to understand some of the more contemporary artists. This is an artist called Pavath who does brickwork, and if you look at the detail of the work, it's a very difficult technique and how they've created these mega cities. These are supposed to be very intricate. It's very intricately done, and it's a juxtaposition of different media together, and the way they've lit the work up. I know Pavath personally also, and I discovered him first at this art fair a few years ago, and he has done some incredible work.
What do you think of the work he's exhibiting with KNMA outside right now?
That's also really extraordinary, and I think very few people do this kind of medium that he does.
The brickwork, is this handmade or using machinery?
Yes, it's done by hand.
So that definitely would be difficult to make. What were your expectations for India Art Fair in 2025, and have they lived up to them?
Yes, absolutely. There have been so many shows and so many art fairs that are happening these days. We've had a few in Delhi, a few in Bombay, and all over India, in fact. And this actually is one of the nicer shows that, this is the original one. And I think their team has done a really good job, the way the fair has been laid out. I think the booths are bigger. There's a lot more fresh sort of content, a lot of new galleries coming. I can see some of the world's best galleries like Lisson and Gagosian, and the Continua is there always. And I love some of the works that they exhibit, especially Anish Kapoor's works. I'm a big fan of. I don't have one in my collection at the moment, but it's so nice to see that there's so many different genres and so much international work that is also being exhibited here.
And do you think India Art Fair has been showing more and more international art in the last few years, or has it been consistent throughout?
I think there's always a little bit of change, and of course there are many more gallerists that are coming and showing their works. So it's always good to see more things and also learn about what are the different things that people are doing, and different countries are bringing in different artists. We've got a Sri Lanka pavilion, you've got a few people from Australia, from Korea. So it's nice to see different cultures also coming into our world as well.
In these different booths. So what has been your favorite booth so far at India Art Fair?
Oh my God, that's a difficult one. I think I am a little more favorable to the modern masters. So of course, the Delhi Art Gallery booth is really nice. Gumimal, Chawla Art Gallery, the Crayon Capital booth is also spectacular.
What draws you to these galleries? What draws you towards modern art as a collector?
Well, I think, since I'm a specialist in rare carpets and textiles, I'm driven more to dyes and colors. And actually, if you look at ancient works, the quality of colors were made with natural pigments. Modern and, or more contemporary works are usually done using aniline or chemical colors. So that's a different patina and look. And of course, it's beautiful, but it's primarily the colors, the workmanship.
It's more natural, if that makes sense.
It's more natural. And actually, the workmanship and the skill of people doing stuff in the olden times was a little more like they took a lot more pride in their work, I feel, because also and things were not as easy as things are today, I think, because you have technology, you have other sort of things that are happening.
If you had to buy out an entire booth, which one would it be?
If I had to buy out an entire booth, I think Gallery Continua would be my choice. I really love what they're doing, even though it's a little out of my comfort zone. But I think some of the works are absolutely spectacular.
Are there any new booths that you're looking at for the first time and you're like, wow, I want to collect into this?
There are a few. I like the Delhi Crafts Council, what they are doing. They are also doing a lot of good things. There's so many things. I think, and then everybody, it's difficult to compare like this, but I think in every booth you can find one or two really nice gems. And I think I would encourage everybody who is not here already to come and see the show. It's a great way to hone your eye and to get your eye better. Even if you are not knowing much about art, you don't need to necessarily know about the artists and who they are. If you just go and start looking at works, you start developing an eye, and that eye tells you that these are the works that you are more drawn to, and these are perhaps things that you are not drawn to. So it is a good place for young people to come and explore and learn more. There are lots of these tours that are happening, and the art fair has done a great job in organizing tours, and these are complimentary tours. I think most of them where you can register, and there's some for students as well. So I would really encourage everybody to come and see the collections that are there, and improve on your eyes. I think it's a great thing. And the thing is that when you start young, it's an advantage that you have. That it's something that you should start doing at an early age.
That's a great sentiment, especially on collecting and collecting at a younger age.
Yeah.
So from 2025 to 2035, who do you see as the lineup of artists who will dominate the next decade?
Oh my God, that's like I think the Indian art market is a very large market. We are a country of 1.4 billion people. And already if you look at the top 100 artists, the top 40 artists, and you can see them at, if you are not familiar with what is happening in the art world, you can follow some of the art auctions. There are a few good auctions like Sotheby's, Christie's, you have Saffron Art, you have Astaguru, and some of these other Kundols, which are another good auction house. And you can see and follow some of the artists and see who are artists that you like yourself. I personally don't like to say or point out specific artists because art is a very personal taste, what I may love, somebody else may think is the most ghastly thing. And similarly also, I think when you look at art, as you're like I was talking to you earlier about the eye, there is a evolution in everybody's taste also that happens. So when I was younger and I was collecting things that were younger, for example, I used to like things that were pretty and beautiful and happy colors. And those kind of things were things that attracted me at that age. As I've grown older and I have seen more works, as I think my eyes slightly getting a little bit better, you see that you are looking at things. You could look at special subjects that possibly are more horrific.
It's a greater range.
Or the colors are much more deeper and dark. So it just depends on your own personal taste. And I feel like I think all of the top 40, 50, 60 artists will do phenomenally well. And of course, if you're looking at contemporary artists, there are some galleries where we're looking at one artist here. And there are so many in each gallery that you'll go, you will find some works and they are showing continuously. That means that they are selling. And but that would not be a reason for me to buy art. I would buy things that I really love because you have to, at the end of the day, live with it in your home. So instead of just buying art from an investment point of view where you know that the values are going to keep going up for a particular artist, I would suggest that you buy things that you really enjoy. And do some research, see who are the artists that are there. If you look at the top galleries that are there in some of these shows, you will get to see their work and their work speaks for themselves.
That's actually quite powerful. Avoid collecting art for collecting art's sake.
Yes.
So tell me, at India Art Fair, have you seen any surprising or abhorrent works as a collector?
I don't think I've been. I think, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. And I have not seen anything that I would say should not be here. But there's so many good galleries that are there, and I don't think I've seen anything that I would not think should not be here.
And tell me, my final question, what is your collecting process like for India Art Fair? How do you choose a work? Does it just speak out to you? What does it look like collecting for Dhruv?
See, generally, I go by my eye, and if I like something, I'm very instinctive. It's either a yes or no. I'm never in a middle ground where I have to think about things too much. Of course, price is a factor, but if you can buy something which is reasonable and you think it's a good work, I would go for it if I can and if I have the pockets for it. I think at the art fair, when you come and see, a lot of things are way out of your comfort zone sometimes. Just a friend of mine was telling me the other day that when you come to the art fair, you realize how poor you are. But I don't think, there's something there for everybody. If you can't afford the canvases, if you can't afford then you could buy,
Print
some
or serigraph.
some watercolors. And if you can't afford the watercolors, then you could look at oleographs, serigraphs, and all those kind of things. But the idea is that you should get things that you love and enjoy.
Have you bought any works yet?
Not yet. Not from the art fair, but I did buy some works last week privately. So yes, this is a process that goes on.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Very appreciated.
Thank you.